The essence or our patent is in visual collaborative decision making. And so, one of the greatest challenges that people sometimes don't realize, and it actually impacts communications, is when you answer a list of questions, whether it's the number of bedrooms or the location, there are certain factors in answering a list of questions. And part of that is my answer to one question may have a higher weight or higher priority than another question and answer. When I answer, "Hey, I want a pool," well, you may say I don't want a pool, but are you locked in on not wanting a pool, or is that more of a lower answer to you?
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm thrilled to be joined with Scott Hayford. Scott, it's awesome to have you on the show today.
Thanks. I look forward to talking with you today.
Yeah, I'm really excited to chat more about how you are helping military families with investing. So, let's jump on in and let's start with what your journey was like. How did you get started in real estate?
So, through my father and my family, back at the beginning, back in the 80s, my father invested in property, so I got exposed to that. I actually helped can do some of the construction early on when he was investing in some land and then building homes and properties on those. So that was my initial exposure to it. And then upon joining the military, I ended up at West Point and had an econ professor that emphasized purchasing homes along the way every time you moved. And so I took that advice, and it worked out quite well for me.
Wow, that's great. And also thank you for your service, Scott. So when it comes to that, following that strategy, what was that journey like? And, when did you start to think, maybe this is my lane here?
That's an interesting one. We've consistently purchased homes along the way as, life's gone on and we've moved around. 19 moves, obviously, in the military, and then a few more moves after that because my wife was military, mil spouse. To creating the technology that we're currently doing with Must Wants, that was somewhat of a pivot, but it was based off of those searches for homes and finding ways to work with, in this case, my spouse. But I've looked at using it for partners, right? So that we can both look for properties together and then more effectively and more transparently discuss, like, hey, why do you like this, or why are you looking for this in a property? So that's kind of where the foundation of Must Wants came from.
Yeah, and what you're doing is very unique. Can you go into more detail and what sets Must Wants apart from the rest?
Sure. The essence or our patent is in visual collaborative decision making. And so, one of the greatest challenges that people sometimes don't realize, and it actually impacts communications, is when you answer a list of questions, whether it's the number of bedrooms or the location, there are certain factors in answering a list of questions. And part of that is my answer to one question may have a higher weight or higher priority than another question and answer.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
When I answer, hey, I want a pool, well, you may say I don't want a pool, but are you locked in on not wanting a pool, or is that more of a lower answer to you? So maybe that in the weight of things, you'd rather have a bigger yard, but no pool, but there's aspects of that between you and I, or 3 people or 4 people, say investors, if we're all looking for properties together, how do those answers to those questions, how are they weighted? And so that's the essence in the patent that we have, is the ability to actually weight those questions, which results in answers. But what we're not doing is deleting any of the answers. So in the case of houses, it's not about saying, oh, we're going to dismiss all 2-bedroom houses because we only want 3. Well, what happens if that property happens to be on a great piece of land in the right location and it has everything else we were looking for? It just doesn't have the number of bedrooms. There's a good chance we may say, no, you know what? The price is right. We're going to buy it and add on a room or 2 rooms. And so that's the essence of must-wants, is being able to organize those thoughts more effectively so there's more transparency in that conversation between the individuals and the realtor in this case, right? Having the realtor understand some of the nuances that are happening, as one agent said, the pillow talk. At 11 o'clock at night, when that conversation's happening and the agent's not present, it helps to all of a sudden see that they moved a house from number 1 to number 10. Well, what happened there? Why did that happen? Oh, we didn't like the commute. Oh, we didn't like the yard. Oh, we didn't like the paint color. Whatever those little moments happen at late at night or early in the morning, the agent is now able to be more effective through that communication, and as well as the partners.
Absolutely. And I'm sure it provides a lot more clarity for everyone involved. Do you have any stories about how this powerful ecosystem that you've made, how it's helped various families and groups?
So yeah, so that's one of the interesting things is the anecdotes that happened from the being punched in the arm a couple times by mill spouses that ask, where was this when we were moving? Because a lot of times for military families, one member is in training, they're deployed, they're not paying attention to it because it's too far out in their mind in the planning. But one of the spouses may have a very organized mindset and be planning out because they know the assignment and the movement is happening. And so we get a lot of those little anecdotes of, this helped us kind of clarify that this was our number 1 house. And that's part of what we're trying to do, is that reducing the buyer's regret. Why did we choose this house? Well, this is why, right? It had the right number of bedrooms. It had the right yard. It had these other features that we were looking for. So we've gotten benefits from that. The other aspect of what we're doing is the agent discovery. So all of our agents are vetted. They've moved before. They understand the military movement. There are a lot of times real estate agents, they know the location. They know the city, they know everything about it, but what they don't know is when that military family shows up, they need to find a veterinarian, they need to find a hairdresser, they need to find a daycare. All of these other little things they have to do that a realtor that doesn't move a lot or works with local residents more often, they may not be as exposed to some of the challenges for a military family relocating to a new location. And so we vet our agents. They don't have to be military or veterans, but we do look for agents that have experience dealing with military families in relocation to help minimize that stress level that the families are going through when they're trying to settle kids into schools and things like that.
Absolutely. With your tool, what would you say are some of the biggest opportunities that you see right now for investors, or, for people who, are moving a lot, and, they know that they have to, keep that in mind with whatever they purchase?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors. and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So we're working on several tools that help understand the median income in an area, understand crime, walkability, other factors that are involved with purchasing homes. So from an investment standpoint, especially for military families, if they're looking at doing what we did, in the 90s, which buy a home, move 2 years, buy a home, move in a year, buy a home, that ability to do that, it behooves them to make sure they're buying in the right location. And a lot of times agents can't talk about it, right? They can't talk about schools. They can't talk about crime in most states. And so what we're providing is a visual mapping of those ranked homes inside, in visually so that they can understand the crime may be questionable here. Schools, right? I mean, am I in the right area? The median income, the prices of homes. Realtor.com obviously has a great interface as far as the data they provide, but most families don't know about that data. And does a realtor tell them about it? It just depends on that level of expertise of that agent and how much they want to share. I've had agents tell me too much information is not good. Well, if you're investing in properties, too much information is what you need. You want more information, right? You want to make the smartest decision you can because in 2 years you're leaving and you need to be able to rent that property or sell it. So, from an investment standpoint, there's a significant value in having that conversation and making sure you understand that the commitment you're about to make on a property.
Absolutely. And speaking of too much information, which is not too much information, what kind of advice would you pass on to our listener, Scott, when it comes to investing and building their portfolio? What do you think everyone needs to know?
That real estate's regional. It's local. It's don't listen to those that are out there talking about it's an up market or down market. You don't know. I have property in New York, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida. Well, where are you located, right? In the Florida market right now, where I am, my houses are flat and declining because inventory is going up and there's not the influx of northerners coming into the space. If you go to Virginia and the Arlington area, those properties have been going up 3 to 5%, maybe a little bit more in some area in the Arlington area. So they're popping. So that's a huge thing for anyone in the investment, especially for military families when they sometimes they get afraid that they're going to miss out. You need to recognize that it is regional. So really talk to your local agents, your local experts. Don't listen to a lot of the YouTube video folks that are oh, the market and you're going to miss and you need to buy now. Well, it depends on the region. I'll tell you right now, in upstate New York, it's flat and it's really tough, and rentals are really tough up there. I tell people what I get for rent in Arlington, Virginia, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's a year's rent in upstate New York." So that's a big factor.
I can I can see that. And Scott, with your experience, I'm sure you know this that every operator has a moment where things got real. Maybe a deal went sideways or you had to completely pivot. Can you share one of those moments on your journey and what you learned from it?
Uh, so we held a note for a potential buyer of a property and making sure you do your due diligence. Luckily, we were able to stop it from going through in time, but ensuring that that due diligence is done, even though that rush to exit a property, sometimes that pressure to stop the loss, from happening for whatever reason, revenue wise, that kind of thing. But doing the due diligence is definitely very important. I think AI is definitely going to help in some of that to make that more efficient and faster. So I have been seeing some use cases there that have helped us, not only from doing the due diligence, but also from a legal standpoint, right? Analyzing contracts, things like that.
When it comes to diligence, do you kind of have like like a checklist or something that, if these red flags pop up, this is an absolute no-go?
We didn't before this, so we are now a little bit more focused on that, and uh, you know, it's a function of you can't do everything, so you do need to surround yourself with smart people, and mistakes happen, oversights, people get busy, life happens. And so that's all part of it, right? And that's what I think sometimes you forget. You're not operating in a vacuum.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Scott, if you were starting in real estate today, from the ground up in today's market, what would you be doing? What kind of advice would you pass on to our listeners?
Analyze the market, the historical trends, but also recognize that there's disruption coming with AI. So look at what the businesses, the commercial side of that area is looking like, and when you're making that decision on purchasing. Are you doing multifamily? So what are the levels and the incomes in those areas? If you're doing commercial, what type of businesses are you looking for? The restaurant business is a real tough one right now, right? So if you're looking at a commercial building for establishing a restaurant, you might have a high turnover because it's becoming tougher and tougher in many states to run a single franchise or single restaurant, right? Franchises, different case because of the fact that you can spread the overhead and the cost out more, right? So your margins are a little bit better than if you're just running one restaurant, that kind of thing. Same with a lot of the other commercial sales spaces, right? Amazon, et cetera, Walmart, they're all going to be doing air delivery. And so what does that mean for infrastructure, roads, et cetera? So where you have businesses, there may not be as much traffic flowing by a certain location. So what does that mean? And so I think that's a big part of people need to recognize that when they're looking at doing their investments.
Absolutely. Scott, when it comes to the networking that you've done over the year or the relationships that you've built in real estate, what's been the biggest game changer for you?
I mean, game changer in that regards. Our network continues to expand because of the fact that we're working on social media. We have 170 social media channels. We leverage LinkedIn for expertise in finding access to the CEOs. I've seen the gatekeepers. I used to be a gatekeeper in the secretary's office. So getting past that one layer that sometimes doesn't think you're a value add, and so they dismiss you, and being able to leverage like LinkedIn to get connected with more senior individuals or decision makers has helped us significantly in growing our team and growing what we're doing.
Awesome. Well, Scott, before we wrap up, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more about Must Wants, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Sure, Scott at mustwants.com. Mustwants.com. There's a link there for my TidyCal, my calendar. I operate 7 days a week, 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night, Eastern time. So I'm always open to any type of conversations, teaming, thoughts of ways of partnering, that kind of thing. We are building an ecosystem, and it is designed around creating partnerships and just being the foundational technology behind it.
Thanks so much for being on the show. And it's inspiring how you are empowering military families in investing with this.
Yeah, I hope so.
And for our listeners, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pros podcast. We've got more conversations lined up with operators like Scott who are out there building fantastic real estate businesses. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.